Impulo pinaka naturangan na marama na turbugi ng ngone lewa. Impulo pinaka ngone. Kanuita kini marata itiron tapi pingomian na biyo liba ni Radio Fiji 1 ang tabay viti na bonga ni Vian. Oya upio rotuang kada menindaw ni Bengravi. Nama kia mo daw no kita tiri karua moniti kina barumbuka. Ene wasini ngono baru taki kilo manikoro. Iluto na karomo.
In this bulletin, Seven's coverage on TV restored. Investigation launched into baby's death. And $100 million loan from ADB for infrastructure improvement. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The South Africa Sevens rugby tournament will be broadcast live on television. The World Rugby has lifted its ban on the coverage after intense negotiations with the government. Chanel Sivan reports.
Good. That's all what we want.
Die-hard rugby fans have reason to celebrate.
I feel happy. Now I can watch the Sevens live.
They will be joining thousands of others in front of their television sets to watch the South Africa Sevens from tomorrow.
Sevens in Africa will be on air again. This was due to the negotiation done by the government of Fiji and the World Rugby, which is the former IRB, and through principles and policy and processes that were followed.
We were just freak out because we were supposed to watch that game, but we couldn't watch it. So we have to go the other place to watch on, internet.
FBC News can confirm both Fbctv and Fbctv will be airing the tournament tomorrow. The good news is that also we have secured the rights to broadcast the 2015 Rugby World Cup that will be held in England.
We make some submission. World Rugby saw it, and with Fijian Holdings CEO, and they have some corrections and add-ons that they required for the Fiji government to meet.
Last week, World Rugby withheld its Rugby Sevens coverage on TV, claiming there was an alleged breach when the games were broadcast on all TV stations. However, the games were broadcast as required under the Television Cross-Carriage of Designated Events Decree 2014. World Rugby claimed the decree was made without consultations with the governing body. Tonight's agreement means Fijians that are not able to get access to Fbctv signal can now watch the Sevens live on Fbctv. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The government and the Asian Development Bank have signed a loan of $100 million to support road infrastructure in the country. The loan agreement will be at an interest rate of 0.7%. Ellen Stahls has the story.
Thank you very much.
And with that, the loan was signed between Fiji and the Asia Development Bank.
We will be able to carry out this much needed infrastructure work. A lot of it, of course, is in many of the rural isolated areas. People in the town and cities do not necessarily get to see it. It's about not just main roads, but also Irish crossings, bridges, jetties, all of that infrastructure. As you know, that the $100 million was referred to in the budget estimates, which unfortunately the other side was not present at. But as you know, that this money is being drawn down over a period of time.
Regional Director for Fiji, Robert Josie, says the ADB looks forward to lending a hand.
Had a country partnership strategy for Fiji endorsed by our board about a week ago, and I think we're very keen to be able to scale up the level of support we can provide to Fiji.
Minister for Infrastructure Pio Tikunduandua says the loan will be utilized by the Fiji Roads Authority.
It's going to go into almost all of the areas in Fiji, but significantly in the rural areas, most of which is going to go to fix our bridges. There's a backlog of repair works in bridges, so that's part of this money is going to go into, obviously, into the other works on our roads, as it were.
The
Asian Development Bank has indicated that it can offer up to $350 million in concession financing to the government of Fiji over the next 5 years. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
An investigation has been launched at Lautoka Hospital to identify the cause of death of a baby 2 weeks ago. This has been revealed by Opposition MP Prem Singh in Parliament today. Akusita Thale reports.
The Health Ministry is strictly looking into complaints received against its staff at the Lautoka Hospital. The baby was delivered healthy but died a few seconds later, and the family is alleging the doctors didn't allow cesarean.
If there are instances of negligence, then those instances of negligence will have to be dealt with. So the long and the short of it, Madam Speaker, at this moment we have decreed that investigation be undertaken so that the full truth for the root cause of the problem needs to be dealt with.
This incident is not the first of the alleged negligence at the Lautoka Hospital, nor is it the first in any public hospital. I know cases of deaths, near deaths, bungled surgeries, surgical operations, wrong diagnosis and prognosis.
The Health Minister has assured the public that the case will also be investigated by outside parties.
Since yesterday, however, we have decreed that there will be an investigation into this matter, to carry out also by third parties, from medical professionals outside of the normal government system, to be able to look into this matter and to understand why it happened, to see if there's things that went wrong.
Usamate told Parliament they visited the baby's family and have requested Lautoka's medical superintendent to visit the baby's parents and explain to them the current situation.
And at the end of that, we hope to be able to identify exactly what happened, and if need be, appropriate action will need to be taken. And we hope that in the future, that those that do come to our hospitals as much as possible will be able to not have the kind of tragic deaths that have taken place.
The Health Ministry maintains that it will reduce infant mortality down to about 5.5 for every 1,000 live births and minimize the occurrences of such deaths. Akusita Talei, FBC News.
The investigation files regarding the Vilikesa Soko case and the YouTube video case have been submitted to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. The Fiji Police Force, in a statement, says no other comments will be made in relation to the matter until after the files are returned from the DPP's office. Soko was allegedly killed while being questioned over a robbery in Nandi this year. The video on YouTube relates to alleged brutality and the arrest of escapees by a task force comprising of police and army officers early last year. Coming up after the break, agriculture damage bill from flash flood, about $121,000.
बॉलीवुड हीरो बनती रे। Get this.
हीरो 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 सपना दिखेला बंद करो।
क्या करो यार, सबको आती नहीं, मेरी जाती नहीं।
मिर्ची मस्त मॉर्निंग, मैं हूँ अश्निल सिंह।
हाय, मैं हूँ काजल।
शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
6 AM to 9 AM।
मिर्ची FM, it's hot.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Water has been restored to the bottom floor of the Colonial War Memorial Hospital in Suva, while other levels are being serviced by the water from tanks installed earlier. The hospital received a further boost today after Fiji Water donated 600 cartons of bottled water. Kajal Kalpana has more.
Bottled water donated by the Fiji Water Foundation has come as a relief to the staff and patients of the CWM hospital.
We already have a distribution system in the hospital, so we will use that to distribute the water to the patients that are admitted, their relatives, and a lot of areas of the hospital when patients are admitted, their relatives also staying, for example, children.
The hospital received pipe water at around 11 last night. However, the upper floor is still without water due to lack of pressure. Fiji Water Chief Executive Rokoserua Nambalarua says the foundation plays a huge role in the health sector as well.
Part of our work is not only to provide clean water to really remote rural areas in Fiji, but also we have opportunity to participate in the health sector.
Services in other departments at the CWM hospital will only normalize after water is fully restored.
The clinics, we're hoping once the water normalizes, that we'll reopen the clinics that are currently closed down. And I think the list was already mentioned by the minister. Yes. So at least we'll make a decision over the weekend whether we can open on Monday.
Meanwhile, the government has once again assured that water will normalize in most areas, if not all, by Sunday.
Segments of the areas that were affected are already starting to have their water supply normalized. We're trying our best to meet our deadline, and hopefully, even though I've mentioned Sunday, I hope that we can get it out sooner rather than later.
A major cleanup will be carried out at the CWM hospital once the water supply is fully restored. Hopefully this weekend. Kalpana Kajal, FBC News.
The cost of agricultural damage in the aftermath of flash flooding last weekend is estimated at $121,000. Agriculture Minister Nisero Ratu says while the damage is minimal, work is now focused on rehabilitation and recovery, with the government providing free seedlings. Maggie Boyle reports.
The Ministry of Agriculture has carried out its secondary survey of the flash flood damage from last weekend.
In the provinces of Rewa, Naitasiri and Teleu, these were the areas that were affected by the heavy rain last weekend. The survey was completed on Tuesday, and the damage assessment comes up to a total of 121,000. This does not include infrastructure that can be covered by the Infrastructure Ministry. This is just on crops and livestock. Crops is worth about 90,000, and the remaining 81,000 is on livestock.
The Minister says assistance is being provided where possible.
The only assistance that we are offering from the Ministry at this stage is for planting materials, for seeds and suckers, for those that are Ndalo farmers. That's the assistance that we have so far. It's the end of the year as well, and funds are sufficient just to provide seeds and suckers.
Ratu says the onus is now on farmers to rehabilitate and recover, and hope that during the remainder of the cyclone season, the heavy rains will remain at bay. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Army Commander Brigadier General Mosese Tikoitonga has confirmed that Fijian soldiers will be deployed to Lebanon next year. Tikoitonga told soldiers at his final parade of the year that the last deployment to Lebanon was in 2002. He adds 146 soldiers in the Golan Heights on Syrian-Israeli border will be deployed to Lebanon for peacekeeping duties. Tikoitonga has also urged soldiers to spend time with their families this festive season, as some of them may be assigned to other tours of duty. The commander's final parade was held in Suva today. Over 1,000 students have graduated from the Fiji National University today. The University Vice-Chancellor Dr. Ganesh Chand says it is a proud day for the families of the graduates. Rishika Kumar has more.
Years of hard work have paid off for these graduates. 23-year-old Regina Kumar is one of the 14 recipients of a Bachelor of Dental Surgery degree. Having also received Dean's Honours Awards, the 2014 Pierre Foucault Academy Dental School Award of Merit, and the Brahman Perlman Award, the day has been extraordinary for Kumar and his family. Former Mahatma Gandhi Memorial College student says 5 years of hard work have paid off for him.
These 5 years, I haven't slept a lot. So exam times, assignments and things, just study the whole night, sleep for 3 hours, go to the exam, come back again, start studying again. That's basically a life of a student.
As the president of the Fiji School of Medicine Students Association, Kumar says it is absolutely essential for students to strike the right balance between studies and recreational activities.
Even though everyone's saying there's a lot of hard work, my advice is you have to balance everything out. Balance your sports, balance the fun elements of school, and most importantly, study hard. Studying is what will get you through everything.
Kumar hopes to be an orthodontist in future. Lambasa-born Rashika Chandra was also the darling of her family today. Having received the Best Medical Student and the Best Medical Student in Anesthesia, she says her dream has been fulfilled.
It's not easy at all. It requires a lot of determination, a lot of dedication, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of sacrifices. But it's not impossible, but it's achievable.
Other special award winners in the medical field are Darshika Khatri, Savaya Garao and Jocelyn Christopher. Rashika Kumar, FBC News.
Friday Night Sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Good evening. Coming up, no change the Fiji Sevens lineup and national hockey sides qualify for second round of World League. Details after the break.
It's now 6 o'clock right here on Big Breakfast, Today FM, today's hit music.
Hey, I'm Pauline.
And I'm Alan. Tune in to the Breakfast Show on Today FM with Pauline and I every weekday morning.
From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Today FM, today's hit music.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. There are no changes in the final 12-member Vodafone Fiji Sevens team named by coach Ben Ryan for the South Africa tournament starting tomorrow. The team list released by World Rugby names the same 12 players that played last weekend in Dubai. Ryan has indicated the team is injury-free and will have a captain's run tonight. Meanwhile, Australia is looking at bettering its performance from last weekend where they lost in the finals.
It was pleasing to get into the final, but South Africa played well and deserved to win that. But hopefully we can come away with the win this weekend in PE. Exactly, and we had a few opportunities. We had a forward pass from Cam Clark, who usually doesn't make those mistakes. Palmer Fowler with that intercept, and Sam Myers getting held up.
Tomorrow night, Fiji takes on France at 9:30 Fiji time, then Canada at 12:46 a.m. on Sunday, while its last pool match is against Scotland at 6:26 Sunday morning. Now, for full broadcast times of the South Africa Sevens, you can get an update later this evening on FBC's webpage, www.fbc.com.fj. The Fiji men's and women's hockey sides qualified for the second round of the World League after winning their respective deciding matches last night. Both sides had to defeat Papua New Guinea to seal a spot in the Olympic qualifying tournament next year, and they did just that. Chalinda Dakadaka has more.
Fiji will once again feature in the World League Round 2 next year after beating Papua New Guinea. The men's side hammered PNG 8-2 to progress to the men's competition in Singapore next month.
It's good, it's a stepping stone for us because it actually proves that we actually deserve to be higher in the ranking. The boys, the skill level that these boys have, it's something that we're able to match with some likes of Bangladesh, China, that we really surprised ourselves. But we only could find that out if we actually took up the challenge to actually go down to this actual World Series.
The Fiji women's side's path to the second round was a lot tougher, as PNG let their intentions known in the opening minutes of the match by taking an early lead. Fiji recovered well to outscore PNG 3-1 to earn a second appearance in the World League Round 2 in India in March.
It's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, it's never easy, it'll be a long road, but as long as we train hard and we keep with our discipline and commitment to training, we'll get there.
I'm really proud of the girls and their efforts. They've trained really hard building up to this competition. The 18 that are on the team deserve the spot that they were given, and representing their country has been something that every individual that tries out at a sport aims to be able to do.
Fiji has once again stamped its mark as the top team in the Pacific region. A bigger challenge lies ahead for the national teams as they prepare to face sides that have featured in an Olympic Games. FBC Sports.
And the Fiji AFL Under-15 team has won the 2014 Australian Football League Oceania Cup. The side defeated defending champions Nauru 21-8 in the final at Albert Park in Suva. Nauru had beaten Fiji 33-19 yesterday in its last pool match, but the Fijians came back with a gallant effort in today's final.
Yes, yesterday we had a bad loss to Nauru, so we went back last night
We had to talk about it, learn from our mistake last night. So we came back from today. We came to the final. Told the boys to believe on themselves and to trust on God will give us the victory today against Nauru. So we're really happy that God has created something to us for winning this final.
And a number of Fijian players are expected to be named in the Oceania squad who will take part in the AFL Cup competition next year in Australia. Every disabled person now has the opportunity to participate in national sporting events. This was after a draft national inclusive sport policy was launched by the Fiji National Council for Disabled Persons today. Executive Director Sitiveni Anuyanutawa says the initiative will benefit the disabled in many ways.
It is something that is very important in the lives of persons with disabilities, because they will be able to know that there is a policy, there is a framework that will be able to guide them in participating for the different sports that they excel in.
The draft is funded by the Australian Sports Outreach Program and has been developed by a think tank committee comprised of the Director of Youth and Sports, Fiji National Sports Commission, FASANOC, Fiji Disabled People's Federation and FNCDP. National Rugby League stars including James Maloney, Isaac Luke, Brett Morris and Josh Dugan have taken to the catwalk in Sydney for the unveiling of all club playing strips for the 2015 Dick Smith NRL Auckland Nines tournament. Already excitement is building, as we see in this report from NRL TV. That is your sports for this evening. I'll be back again on Monday. Until then, have yourselves a safe weekend and enjoy the live Sevens coverage. Good evening.
Fiji and New Zealand have signed an agreement for the Regional Seasonal Workers Scheme. 30 workers from Fiji will take up seasonal work in New Zealand starting in February. Sakio Sanaivua has the details.
With the agreement now sealed, the government will call for fresh applications. More than 5,000 applications were received in the first round of advertisements. This time, the emphasis is on recruiting rural dwellers. One of the employees from New Zealand, Jeff Van Beek, travelled to Suva to talk about the scheme.
Housing is very strictly policed where these workers are going to stay, of very high standard. And when you'll see documentaries coming back to Fiji of where your workers are going to stay, you'll be truly amazed. And once again, that is part of government requirements, which we fully endorse.
The number of workers will vary depending on the market demand.
But it is very much demand sort of driven, where the employers are saying this is what we need, and they have to work with government, because the New Zealand government is still also very focused on making sure that whilst REC is very important for the New Zealand government, so is that New Zealanders have first opportunity for those jobs. So we adjust the numbers every year.
The Ministry of Labour will be preparing a standby team just in case if there's more workers demanded before the 6-month period ends. Sakyusa Naibua, FBC News.
Rain was experienced especially over the northern and eastern parts of the country today. Elsewhere, cloudy conditions prevailed. A trough of low pressure lies slow-moving just south of Solomon Islands and extends eastwards just north of Fiji to Futuna and Samoa and southeastwards over French Polynesia. Meanwhile, another trough of low pressure lies over Tokelau and extends southeastwards over northern Cooks. Sabasava recorded a maximum temperature of 29 degrees while Ba hit 32 today. Forecast to midnight tomorrow, occasional rain and few thunderstorms over Vanua Levu, Taviuni, Lau and Lomaiviti groups, the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Isolated heavy falls with thunderstorms expected. Rain expected to ease and clear from later tomorrow. Elsewhere, showers especially in the afternoon or evening. Sunday's outlook, some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers with possible thunderstorms. And the main points again. Fijians will be able to watch the South Africa Sevens on TV from tomorrow. The government and the Asian Development Bank have signed a loan of $100 million to support road infrastructure in the country, and the cost of damage to agriculture in the aftermath of flash flooding last weekend is estimated at $121,000. To the poll question for this week, we're asking, was Fiji overconfident in its loss against Australia in the Dubai Sevens? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us by Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's our news for today. Until tomorrow evening, ni modamanda.
It's now 6 o'clock right here on Big Breakfast, Today FM, today's hit music.
Hey, I'm Pauline.
And I'm Alan. Tune in to the Breakfast Show on Today FM with Pauline and I every weekday morning
from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Today FM, today's hit music.